So let's go up to the top. Lenore said, thanks for taking this time to share your wisdom, whatever comes to pass. That's true, Lenore, because you never know. I never know what's going to happen on the show. Sometimes, but you know what? If all the ones that I've done, I think they've gone pretty well. But I guess my point is I don't know what's going to come. I don't know what the questions are going to be. I don't know what direction we're going to go. And I don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. I just pray. Right before I press start the show, I say, come on. Just have fun. Go in there. Don't get nervous. You'll figure it out. It'll work out. So thank you. Marcia said, I'm so grateful for this. It's my first year as an agent. Just got off getaway. Hey, all right, Norwegian. I was on the getaway. I did the inaugural. Have a lot to share with positive feedback. You can use me on the webinar. And Marcia, you have questions. That's awesome. I'm going to get to them, I promise. So everybody who's joining in right now, who just joined us, welcome. If you have questions, you can start typing them in now. You can say hello. You could say good morning. You could say good evening if you're on the other side of the world. I don't know. But, Marcia, I promise I will get back to your question. Patricia says, happy birthday, Stuart. Wishing you a fabulous today and always. Thank you. That's very, very sweet. I appreciate it. Gina says, happy birthday. Thank you. Lenore, yes, could see and hear. Marcia could see here, here. Let's see, Gina. I look and sound fabulous. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. This is my new hat, by the way. I bought this for my birthday. I wore it Saturday night. Had a little birthday party. It was a jazz club theme. And, yeah, I don't know if you saw my pictures on Facebook, but I love hats, really into hats. Al, welcome, Al. Yes, and yes, you can see and hear. Cheryl said, okay, all right. Thank you, Cheryl. Welcome. Hello, John. John's in the house. Linda says hello. Patricia says happy birthday. Wish me a fabulous day. And always thank you so much. My gosh. Jack and Joan are here. The Fingermans, thank you. Have a great day. I will. I'm already having a great day. Thank you so much. Marcia says it's a niche market. What, the hat? The hat thing is a niche market. I agree. I'm trying to bring it back. I love it. I love wearing hats. And there's a place right here in Memphis called Mr. Hats. The store's been there since 1643, and it was my first time there yesterday. I love it. I'm sorry, last week. Lori says happy birthday. Thank you very much, Lori. Elaine, happy birthday. Thank you. Jenny, happy birthday. Thank you, everybody. Lorene loves my new hat. Thank you. Hi, Patty. Welcome. But the hat. Yes, I got it, Marcia. Very, very cool. All right, everybody. Well, I don't like to waste too much time dilly-dallying here, but I always like to welcome everybody in. And while they're still filing in, I'm going to take my sip of birthday coffee. Hold on one second, please. Wow, seriously. And can I tell you something when I put in my coffee, too? You're going to have no choice because I'm going to tell you anyway. I put a little cayenne in my coffee. Does anybody here put cayenne in the coffee? See, I like mixing up. You know, I use a French press. You guys who are here all the time with me every other week for the Ask Stuart Hour, you know what I do. I French press my coffee. I love it to pieces. I grind the beans. I wish I could roast the beans. I'm not at that point yet. And sometimes I put cardamom. Sometimes I put cayenne. Sometimes I put cinnamon. And sometimes I put something alcoholic. And perhaps I should have done that today for my birthday, but it's a little early here. It's a little too early to start the libations. We did that Saturday night, and perhaps it'll happen again tonight where we're going out for some sushi. I call it Stushi. All right, all systems are go here. Let me just look at the last minute comments here. And then we're gonna kick off because I want to thank Debbie. Debbie sent in a question. She posted it on Facebook. Also have Steve. Thank you, Steve. You sent in a question too. Marcia, I know you put a question, so it's going to be a very, very full hour. Elaine said, do you now live in Memphis? The answer is yes. I live in Germantown, which is 2 miles from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a mid-Southerner, as you can tell by my Southern accent, which I really don't have. I can never take the New York out of me. Hello, Trinita. Happy birthday, my friend. Wishing you only the best. Love the hat. Thank you very much, Trinita. Appreciate that. Hello, Jan. Welcome. Happy birthday to me. Thank you very much. Nancy says, happy birthday, Stuart. Thank you very much, Nancy. And Le Bistro sur French press. That's the way to go, man. You really want to taste the coffee. You go with the French press. Before we begin, I just want to welcome visitors. I did open it up to my whole database of travel professionals. So we have my regular group boot campers. Mwah, love you. Thanks for coming back today. And we have folks who've never been here before. You guys may have no idea what my group boot camp is all about. And we do this thing here. It's called the Ask Stuart Hour every other week. The only slide you're going to see is the one that's right up there. I have no script, no slides, and one agenda to help you. So this is like our semi-private coaching session, and this is your access to me, and I try to help. Whether it's a specific individual opportunity challenge that you want to bring forward, I want to try to help you. And I also let everybody else in the house answer, because so many of you have experiences, successes, failures I want you to share. So don't be shy. If you can already tell, I'm not. But for you visitors, I'm grateful that you're here. I'm not doing you a hard sell, even a soft sell on Group Boot Camp. But if you want to master the group business model, there's no other place to go but my Group Boot Camp. And you're going to love it. And that's it. That's the sales pitch. We're done. But I want to welcome you. You're very, very, very welcome here. I'm glad you're here. And you can be a fly in the wall. You can listen to everybody else's problems and opportunities and get all green with Evie. Or you can participate. Put your microphone on, ask me a question or two, shout out an accolade, wish me a happy birthday, whatever you want. Uh-oh, lost sound. Now it's back. Wow. So the sound, you know what it is with the sound? Here's what I think happens with this volume. I talk so much that the Comcast gremlins shut me down when I'm talking too much. If my wife was here, my lovely, beautiful wife Kimberly was here, she would elbow me ever so gently or squeeze my knee ever so gently when I talk too much. Okay, so let me see, Elaine here. Well, I live in Crossville, Fairfield, Glade, Tennessee. Never heard of it, which is between Nashville and Knoxville. Now I understand. Pretty mountains, but miss the Jersey Shore. I hear you, Elaine. It's different. We don't have the Jersey Shore here, the Long Island Shore here. That's where I'm from. But I got to tell you something. I love Nashville. I love this whole place, this whole area, the city. There's so much to offer. In fact, I'm heading downtown today to go visit the Church Health Center. I'm going to see if I can do some volunteering. I don't know if you knew it, but I'm not only a business coach, but I'm an integrative health coach too. I want to see if I could do some volunteering there in 16. And Rosetta said a happy birthday. Thank you very much, Rosetta. And okay, and Jack and Joan, you guys put a cool. You guys put a question in too. So here we go. We're going to dig in. 1 cup of coffee. Welcome everybody. I do have a poll. I'm going to ask you guys a question. So don't let me forget to ask you that question, that poll. Okay, so listen up, everybody. Now, it's one thing if I answer, but if you guys have stuff you want to share too, please do. Okay, and we got a lot of people in the house today. I will try my best to keep up with all your comments and questions, I promise. Marsha, I know you got one in there, and Jack and Joan, I know you got one in there. So this came in from Debbie, who's a boot camper. Okay, Debbie just returned from a women's retreat at sea. Okay. Very cool. It was called When Women Gather. She said, Stuart, I know you said you were going to share your group launch sequence soon, which is true. And if you don't know what that is, I'll explain. But I have a couple of groups that I know are speculative. Now, this is Debbie talking for 2016, speculative groups for 2016. And I'm wondering if the group launch sequence would work better with affinity or speculative groups, or does it matter? Now, for those of you who don't know what the group launch sequence is, let me explain if I can. I had an epiphany a couple of months ago, and I said, oh, my God, that's what's missing. Well, I've got everything else in boot camp, and agents have all this information. We know the product, right? We know the price. I hope you know how to do the price, packaging, I mean, which is very important, and, price setting a good, fair price. And the place, so we're looking at the 4 Ps here, the 4 Ps of marketing. If anybody has that is a marketing person, graduated with some kind of a marketing degree, took a marketing class, you know that there's 4 Ps of successful marketing. There's the product, which you guys are great at. The price, right? We just talked about the place. Now, the place isn't where the ship goes or where the hotel is. The place, when it comes to marketing, is the media, the advertising channels, right? So where are you going to market? Where are you going to reach these people? And do you guys know what the 4th P is? The 4th P, the P that we forget to take. The P that we forget to take. Promotion. Yeah. You're telling me, oh, no, Stuart, I do promotions. We do it. We have meetings. We have presentations. I make brochures. But guess what? We all have it wrong. For all these years, we've got it wrong. We don't do the promotions right. See, promotions have to take place before you open up for sale, not after. Okay, I can't get into the whole group launch secret. It'd take too long. Okay, but the whole idea is you front load it and then you open for sale. You tell people, I will not take your money. You cannot book this now until you attend these series of events so I can answer your questions. I can explain what we've got going on here. And then on Tuesday, the 14th, for 1 or 2 days only, I'll take your money. And that's when you have your biggest spike in sales. So that's what the group launch sequence is. When basically you bring people along a path, you don't take their money, you don't take their money, but what you do is you do promotions, and I can't reveal all the details, it'll take too long, exactly what those events are that you do leading up to the open sale day. Okay. All right. So the question that Debbie has is, can we launch a speculative group like that too versus affinity? Now, do you guys know what a speculative group is? A speculative group is where you really don't have a core group. There's no affinity. There's no real magnet that draws people together. There's no glue that binds. There's no reason for the season. The only reason why they would go on a speculative group and book it, why, everybody, why, is because it's a good deal. The price is right. And with affinity group, you're never, ever going to come in saying the price is right. In terms of it's the best deal, the cheapest rate around, you're going to come in with the package, which is going to be the best value on the planet to participate and experience this group all together. But when it comes to the speculative group, you just have an opportunity and you're putting it out there. So, Debbie, I have to tell you, no, I don't believe you can market and speculative group the same way we market an affinity group. See, a speculative group, if you want to do it, that's fine. I don't teach that in boot camp, but I'll tell you, speculative group, basically your supplier, your vendor, your BDM, DSM comes to you, whether it's a hotel or resort or cruise, and they say, hey, have we got a deal for you? You want to take out some space? And you say, sure. And what you want to do is you want to reach out to people on your list who you know might be interested in that opportunity, that deal, that amazing value. Okay, people who can maybe travel on a dime, they can leave last minute, or you just know people. You just know because you're in touch with your database, your list of people. It's a wonderful opportunity, and you never ever listen to me carefully. You're never ever going to say the word group ever. You're never going to say the word group because if you say the word group, then people are going to say, I don't want to go with group. I just want to go on vacation with my spouse or with my family. With my kids. I don't want to be part of a group. So the word group never enters into it. It's just a deal. It's an opportunity. That's the affinity, if anything. So when you do that, no, you want to do a nice marketing campaign. You want to get the word out to your list. You want to make some phone calls. And you want to say there's very, very limited space. Come on and get it. But you never want to say a group. An affinity group, you definitely have to use the group launch sequence. You have to do it. To do a proper product launch in order to make that successful. And then okay, so that's it with Debbie. She has a two-part question here, but we'll get to that later. I want to check the boards right now to see if you guys have any comments. Hang on, I'm going to take some more coffee here. Yes, happy birthday to me. Thank you if you've joined in late. That's all right. I won't judge you because with Ask Stuart Hour, you can come and go as you please. If you got a toothache, you got to go to the bathroom, go, then come back. Or if you tune, the thing is, I'm here for you. Every minute you're here tuning in, I hope you glean something that's going to help your business or ask a question. This is your semi-private coaching opportunity. Hold on there. Man, it's so good. All right, here we go. Okay, Patty says happy birthday. Thank you very much. Okay, so nobody else posted, so I'm going to go back up. I'm going to see, and remember, I have no idea what was posted here. That's the beauty of this show. The Ask Stuart Hour, ask me whatever you want, as long as it has nothing to do with any kind of a rash. I'm not a rash expert. If you got a rash, if you have a difficulty with the elbow going like this, or I don't know, that the sniffles, you talk to my wife. She's a nurse practitioner. I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. That's not my business. All right, Marcia. All right. I'm looking for your question, Marcia. Hold on there. I'm going to get it. I promise I'm going to get it. Okay. Here's the question from Marcia. How do I overcome the younger people thinking cruises are for old farts? That's exactly Marcia's words. How do we overcome younger people thinking cruises are for old farts? You know, it's very interesting you asked that question. I want to know from you guys out there, is this something that's happening? And I assume, Marcia, we're referring to the millennials. The millennials. Does anybody else, do you guys experience that? And how do you handle it? So while you're typing your answers, I want to give you an observation here. I don't know if you got anybody on the line who's been in the business as long as I have, almost 30 years. But I remember when I first got into this business and we were talking cruising, when we did cruising back then, and my first cruise, by the way, my first cruise was on a princess ship. It was the actual the Island Princess. The tiny, eensy beensy 6,000 ton, 425 passenger, 6,000 ton Island Princess, teeny, weensy, eensy beensy, tiny. And back then, friends, if you were in the business as long as I am, the cruising was for old farts. But Marcia, that's your expression. I love it. It works. But here's the thing: back then, we didn't call them old farts. We called them the blue-haired crowd, right? The blue-haired crowd, that's what we called them. And so, you know, what did we do? It was really hard to do because the ships were designed and set up, the entertainment, the food, everything was set up for old farts, the blue-haired crowd. What they did, they changed the product, didn't they? They made the product cool and fun. You know, I just got off the Escape, the new ship we cruise on. I've been several of the new Royal Caribbean ships, of course, as you have, right? I've been on the newest celebrity ships. I mean, we've all, my guess is, experienced, and we see that it's, you know, it's kind of groovy. It's kind of cool, man. They got fun stuff for everybody, and they've indeed made it multi-generational, which is a great group, huge opportunity. So how do you do that? Well, here's what I suggest, Marcia, and everybody else. You need to don't assume you know what's on their mind, and don't assume that you know how you're going to convince them that cruising is right for them. So what you want to do is, and it's something I learned from, what's his name? Jeff Walker. Great book, Jeff Walker, called Launch. He says you need to enter their conversation. Now, what I mean by enter their conversation, Marcia, and everybody, and you can use this whenever you have a naysayer, anybody who's not hip on what you're trying to talk to them about, they don't believe in it, and the key is if you believe it's right for them. Don't try to talk them into something that's not right for them, of course. But enter the conversation means understand their fear. What is it that they believe? What's their perception? If they've never stepped on a cruise ship before, oh my God, you guys encounter people still to this day, people who have never been on a ship, and I have too. And what do they say? Oh, I ought to be stuck in a metal tank for a week. Are you nuts? Well, it could be further from the truth. Now, I know cruising isn't for everybody, but get them to tell you what's your perception. What do you think? And you can't tell them that they're wrong. You don't want to judge them for their crazy thoughts and opinions because they've never been there, done that. You have, so you know they're slightly in you know, they don't really know the truth. But have that conversation. And so, as they bring up specific points, you can say, well, actually, you know, there's a couple of ships, and give examples. Give examples that, well, there's actually a jazz club on this ship, and that starts at 11 p.m. You know, out on deck they have a DJ that spins, you know, groove music, man, that goes on till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. So you beg to differ. You beg to differ. Enter their conversation and find out what their fear is. You know, what's that perception? And look, Marcia, if there's nothing you could do or say to turn them around, that's okay. My great friend and mentor, Mike Marshef, he always says there's two kinds of people in the world. The ones you can help and the ones you can't. Don't waste your time with the ones you can't. and take care of the ones you can because you know you can help them. And let me just say this to you guys. You don't sell travel. I'll say it again. You don't sell travel. You don't sell great vacations. Here's what you do. You transform lives. You transform lives. So when you're talking to people who you know they're stressed, they want to get away, they need your help. And if they do it on their own, they're going to make a big mistake. Then you have to make sure you know how you're going to transform their lives. If they book it online, it's going to be okay at best. But you're going to make sure it's not just okay, that it's good, better, best. Because you know what they don't. And that's the same philosophy I think you need to go after these millennials who laugh this stuff off, you know. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Let me know if that helps you. Marcia, I think that was a great question. Now I want to go to a question that Steve sent in. Keep posting there. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Ask Stuart Hour. I do this every other week with my group boot campers. It's lovely to have you here as my guest. Feel free to type in. I know you can't see what everybody else is typing in, but it is fast and furious on a little board over here. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to try to get to everybody's comments and questions and be bold enough to put your mic on. Today is the birthday edition. Why? Because it's my birthday. See, I don't take the day off of my birthday. I do what I got to do on my birthday. I love the day. Either I'm going for a sushi dinner tonight. All right, Steve. Now listen up, everybody, because maybe you can help. Steve wants to know pointers for prospecting churches for Holy Land tours. I'll say it again. Steve wants some pointers for prospecting churches for Holy Land tours. That he has tried contacting pastors by mail, by email, but through visiting them and on Facebook. And he's had 0 results. It's not working. I wonder if any of you out there, do any of you out there work with pastors or do any Holy Land tours, whether you're contacting a pastor or whether you're contacting a rabbi, whatever it is, some kind of a Holy Land tour. And just remember, if I can't get to all of you, we're recording this, so this is going to be, on the podcast page in boot camp because so many of you have some awesome ideas. Wow, you got to see all the comments that people have been posting. This is amazing. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what I want to now, listen, everybody. This is going to be some good. I think it's going to be some good wisdom. All right, I want to help Steve and help you guys in terms of prospecting. That's what happens when you have too much coffee. Oh, hold on there. Okay. So how do you prospect, especially at a church and a pastor? I've got to tell you, Steve, and everybody, that if you're looking to do this or if you've done this, you know that it's obviously, as Steve has experienced, very, very difficult, which, my friends, is pretty much is the same as trying to sell to the manager of a store, the leader of any group. Honest to goodness, trying to get to that key person who you want to sell to is going to be the most difficult thing in the world. Why? Because we're thinking that we need to go sell to them. Right? So we send them a long email with our ideas. Okay? We send them a letter. We leave messages. And nobody wants to be sold to. So what do? They resist. They resist. So they don't set up a meeting with us. Okay? Because why? They don't want to be sold to. You know how many phone calls, emails, Facebook IMs, letters, knocks on the door they get? So here's the way. There's 5 ways, Steve, and everybody else, you can prospect a new potential group leader. Okay? Number 1, you need to already be, there's 5 ways, write this down. Number 1, you need to already be a member of the organization. I know that sounds really obvious, but let me tell you, if you can't say yes to any of these, one of these 5, then it's not going to work. Move on. Move on. Number 1, you need to be a member of the organization. Number 2, it needs to be by referral. You need to be able to drop a name, somebody who they know, whether it's the pastor or the person who's running the group. You need a name. You need a name to use to get in the door. Okay? Number 3, you need to be a customer. Now, I know if it's a church, you're not really a customer. You're a parishioner, or you're a member of the community. You're a member of that organization, right? But you need to be either a customer or doing business with them. So obviously this may not be applicable to a church as a customer, but for instance, if you're going to solicit to see if you can sell to, and I'm going to get to the word sell in a second, somebody who owns a wine shop and you want, or a vineyard, and you want to do a wine tasting, some kind of a wine themed or alcohol themed, because there's more and more of these vodka distilleries too, and now whiskey's getting big. It helps if you're a customer, because then you could say, hey, I've been buying from you for years. I'm a local business owner too. Have you got 10, 15 minutes for me? I just want to come and talk, right? Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4 is if you're a fan. Now, obviously, maybe you are a fan of the pastor, or because maybe, I don't know, they've written books, they're a wonderful orator, and I don't know, but if you're a fan, it could be some kind of a celebrity, an author. Okay, so you have to be a fan and have to really, really, really know them well and know everything about them. When I say know them, you may not really know them, but you know everything about them possible. Or number 5, you have to be a partner in passion. You have to be passionate. So this could be more for maybe a fundraising organization, and possibly this will work, Steve, for the church, okay, because your passion too is to explore the Holy Land. Okay, so those are the five things that you need to get in the door. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you is don't even think of going in and selling. Because even if you have one of these 5 things that'll open up the door, get you through the gatekeeper, nobody wants to be sold to. You want to ask for a 15-minute meeting. A 15-minute meeting to get you in the door. I do this all the time. And it works. People realize, okay, I got 15 minutes. They're either a member, they're a fan, they're a customer, they're a partner in passion, whatever. And sure, I'll give you 15 minutes because they know I'll be out of there in 15 minutes. Okay? And you want to have a conversation, Steve, and everybody else. And you're not going to say a word about what you do while you're there. You're there to ask questions. You're there to learn more about their organization. And here's the kicker, everybody, before we move on to the next question. This is the kicker. Remember I said you're not selling. This is the kicker. The kicker is you're there to uncover a problem that they have. If you can uncover a problem that they have, and if you can position group travel as the solution, then you've got yourself a prospective group. I'll say it again. If you can position yourself if you can position yourself having the solution to a problem, then you've got yourself a group. So with this church, if you want to have a 15-minute meeting over a cup of tea with the pastor, you go and you talk, and maybe you know a little bit about history. Either they've traveled together before or they haven't. And if you have this conversation, you determine that it's something that they've always wanted to do, but they just can't get it all together. It's very complex. It's very cumbersome. They're kind of afraid to do a group trip because there's a lot of moving parts. Well, there you go. That's the problem. And you're the expert. Group travel is a solution. Or it could be an organization. Let's just say it's the church. They're celebrating their 50th anniversary. And they need to do something big. They have a problem. What are we going to do that's big and exciting? Better and bigger than anything else. Let's go to the Holy Land and do a spiritual journey. And so you have to solve a problem. You can't sell this stuff. You can't sell it. Nobody wants to be sold to. Steve, I hope that helps. And everybody else, I hope that helps. And if you didn't get those 5 fast enough, shoot me an email or whatever, or watch us back on the podcast. Let's see. Sam. Hello, Sam. Sam is back. And she says pastors are tough crowds. So listen up. Thanks for sharing, Sam. My brother is a pastor of a large church. Churches, pastors are connected to larger organizations related to their denomination, and through these larger organizations, they are offered all types of Holy Land tours that are specific to their faith. I know my brother works with me because I'm his sister, and I have a client who will be ordained as an Episcopalian priest next year who wants me to put together a Holy Land tour at some point, but that's because he has been my client for years. See, so she's already in the door. I know my brother would never do business with someone he doesn't know, have prior experiences with, or doesn't attend his church. I'm going to say that again for everybody, and especially Steve, okay, that you get an inside scoop here, Sam, and I really appreciate you sharing this. I know my brother would never do business with someone he doesn't know, have prior experience with, or doesn't attend his church. You see, because we go knocking on the door, and if you don't have any one of those 5 things there, right? If you're not a member, if you haven't been referred by somebody who they know and trust and love, if you're not a customer, or in this case a parishioner, if you're not a fan, or if you're not a partner in passion, you're just another salesperson. Okay, so I appreciate that very much. Elaine, you said, what questions to ask? I don't know what you mean. Well, you can ask any question you want, and I'm going to answer. We got to get back up to the top here. We had weird, crazy, insane technical glitch there. What are you going to do? This kind of stuff just happens, and I want to see who's in the house. Wow, look at all the people. And there's a lot of names I don't even recognize. Many I do, but I'm so grateful that you're all here. This is hugely awesome. Thank you for our visitors attending Ask Stuart Hour. I will tell you, I'll say once in 10 times we have some kind of weird technical glitch, but thank goodness we came back because it's my birthday. It all came back. It all came back. So I appreciate everybody for hanging with me there as we got that fixed. So let's see what the next question is coming through here. Let me see here. Oh my goodness, there's so much. Let's see. Joan, I know that you had posted a question, so I'm going to go back and find it right now. And if you guys have any questions, comments you want to add on to what I just told Steve and Sam shared with us too. Okay, here we go. Jack and Joan have difficulty charging the service fee. Listen up, everybody. Price shoppers are turned off by the charge. I have difficulty. Who here charges a service fee? Do you have difficulty charging a service fee? How do you do it? How do you get away with it? Look, I'm a big believer in service fees. So is one of my great friends and mentors, Nolan Burris. He teaches it. And I believe that you guys are entitled to get what you're worth because, frankly, the commission, you've heard me say this before if you've been on the show with me, the commission is just a tip. It's just a gratuity. The commission the supplier pays you is strictly a tip. It's a gratuity. And it's only going to get you so far. I don't know how any agency can be profitable, can have a lucrative business if you're operating on commissions alone. It's just a tip. Even if you're earning the top level 15%. So that's why I teach groups. That's why I believe groups is what's going to make you most profitable, why groups is going to keep you obsolete proof, because with groups, you're never, ever going to sell the stripped down, bare-boned, off-the-shelf package that the supplier sells and that every online travel agent sells. They sell the stripped-down, bare-boned, off-the-shelf package, and with a group, you never do that. With a group, you can net it down, add in your markup and the margin that you deserve. Set a fair price so that you make a lot more than just the tip, the gratuity the supplier is willing to pay you. That's why you create the package. That's why your groups are going to sell for much more than if they're going to book it online. But online, they're getting, what kind of a vacation are they getting? What kind of a group trip are they getting? A bare-bone, off-the-shelf, bare-bone group trip. If that's what they want, say, have a good time. Actually, at best, have an okay time. And when you come back disappointing, you see all the things that you missed, all the things I could have done for you in advance that you paid more for there or that were already sold out. You come back and you talk to me. I'll help you out. But otherwise, have a good time. So answering the question about the service fee, the number one thing I want to say to you, Jack and Joan, is that you need to say it with absolute extreme confidence. Okay? If there's any hesitation at all that they hear, that they sense, and you're like, well, we do charge a $25 fee, or well, we do charge a $50 fee, where it's almost questionable, you're kind of floating it to see if they're interested, because when you position it as a, by the way, we do this, then they're going to hear it and they're going to say, no, thank you, I want that. I don't want that. I don't want to pay it. Okay, it has to be said with. So if you're going to charge a straight fee, okay, now we're talking individual bookings now, then you have to say it with confidence. At our agency, my fee is $100. Now I have other agents here who work with me too. Their fee is $50. If you want me, it's $100. With confidence, And if they say goodbye, you say goodbye. You got to go. Move on. Okay? I really think the best thing to do, and I know it's tough with individuals, is to package it in. So it's an unbreakable price point and still try to value it up. Because if people are calling you anyway to price shop and they say hi, because you get this all the time, right? And they say hi. Listen, I saw this cruise online and it's $7.99. Can you beat that? That's all they're interested in is a number. So you have to diffuse that. You can't right away just say yes, I can beat it by $5, or no, I can't. You have to tell them, do you realize if you book that for $7.99, you're going to be paying significantly more when you get there, and if I'm not in your corner, on your team, in your pocket, you're going to make a lot of mistakes because there's stuff that will be missing. There's stuff that will be sold out. There's stuff that you're going to wait online and be stressed out to do. Okay, so let me give you another thought on that. So if you can't package, I would hope you'd package in the fee. The other option I've seen a lot of travel professionals do is they charge an annual fee. If VIP, because we don't take a lot of clients, to be a client of my travel agency, it's $200 a year. Here's my cell phone. Text me when you want, and they won't do it. They don't. People don't. Okay, that's the other way of looking at it. So A, have confidence. B, package it in. C, charge an annual fee. There's 3 ideas. Okay, and D, don't do individuals. Do groups. Because with groups, you don't have to worry about fees. And I had a good friend of mine. She was working on an incentive group, and the incentive group she said to them, "Listen, you really need me to go on this trip. You need me to escort. This is a major incentive group. I got to go and I got to be there." And what the clients say, "Well, I'm not paying for you to be there." And I told her what she's got to go back and say. She's got to go back and say, well, I'm not going to do this group if I'm not going to be there, because do you realize how many moving parts there are to this trip? How much could go wrong if I'm not there? I go with all my groups. You not only want me there, you need me there. Now, don't you worry about paying for my trip. You just worry about the one package price I'm charging, and I've got it covered. I've got you covered, because when I'm there, I'm going to stay a step ahead and behind the scenes, so you don't have to worry. Unless you want all the stress, because trust me, I've been doing this longer than you have. Lots of things go wrong, but they won't when I'm there. Don't worry about the fee. Yes, will you be paying for me to go? You will, but you'd never know it because it ain't going to hurt. It ain't. Okay, got to be really, really confident. And so I really hope that helps. And I think I want to leave you with this on that thought. Then go to the board, see what other questions we have. And if those of you who've been in the Ask Stuart Hour before, pardon me for being redundant here. For all of our visitors today, who I'm very, very grateful that you've joined us, I want you to write this down, because what a lot of travel professionals over the years say to me, "Hey Stuart, how do we tell consumers what we do, what our value is, that they need us, what our value proposition is, what our purpose is? How come they don't know?" Well, they're not going to know on their own. It's up to you, each and every one of you individually, to tell them how you will transform their lives. I can't do it. Advertising can't do it. Asta campaigns can't do it. Nobody can do it but you. And there's 3 things you do for people. This is it. This is what I want you to write down. Whether it's a group or an individual. Number 1, you reduce stress and risk. You reduce stress and risk. Give them examples, Jack and Joan. So when you say, why would you pay me $100 to do this for you when you can go book it online? I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, I'm going to reduce your stress and risk significantly, and I'm going to give you an idea of the stress and risk you might have, or actually something that don't put fear into their heads, but that's okay. But of what you just did for clients, give them an example of that people who pay you $100, stuff that you took care of in advance that they didn't have to deal with. That was worth well over $100. Number 2, you increase value and convenience. You increase value and convenience, and I said this before, is that you know stuff that they don't. You are great for all the research that they're doing. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. You'll take a look at it, and you're going to be their truth detector. You're going to tell them that if what they found is true or not, because most of the stuff online is not, or a half-truth. But you're the expert. You're the professional. This is what you get paid a lot of money a year to do by your clients. Okay? You can use those words. Okay? So number one, remember, you reduce stress and risk. Number two, you increase value and convenience. Give them examples of the convenience and the value you've done for other clients that are worth well over $100. And number three, I've already said 100 times, which is you transform lives. Or if you're not uncomfortable saying transform lives, you can say that you increase the happy. You take it from okay to good to better to best. And unless they have 1 year permanent vacation time and all the money in the world, and it's okay if they occasionally have an okay trip, then this trip has to be the best, right? You want to talk to somebody, listen, what do you want here? You guys want an okay trip, or do you want the best ever trip? Just tell me. If you want an okay trip, then I'll show you what website to book it on. You don't need me. Go ahead and do it on your own. If you want the best trip, it's what I get paid the big bucks for. So I definitely hope that helped you guys. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Hello, Michael Brown's in the house. Let's see. I'm looking for other questions. Hold on here. Let me see. Nancy. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Stuart. I felt a successful bus tour for a bank group in Maine, South Maine. The folks in the back of the bus told me the bank group leader is looking to get another person to lead, someone that has been in the business been in the bus 30 years. Been in the bus 30 years. So the folks in the back of the bus told me the bank group leader is looking to get another person to lead. Okay, so Nancy, I'm not sure if you're saying that the person who you worked with, that you booked with, is leaving and they're going to bring on somebody new, or if they're going to potentially not use you again, Nancy. So explain to me what the situation is, and I want to be able to answer that. I do. Okay, here's something from Sam. I've had a strange thing going on. Last week I have booked 5 cruises for 2017. Yeah, hey! All right, since nobody's turned their microphone on, I'm going to blow it. Which way will it go? Down to the, I don't know, southwest? Okay, Sam, the last week I've booked 5 cruises for 2017, almost like my clients are skipping 16 because of all the unrest, ? And just looking at 17. And she's not complaining. Are you guys experiencing that? Anybody else experiencing softness in 16, but more bookings for 17? Sam, we'll put that poll out, see what you guys say. Speaking of a poll, here comes the poll. Get ready. Take a look at this poll. I need your help. I need to know what your preferred date for the next Ask Stuart Hour is. There you go. The poll's in progress. So let me know. What's your preferred date for the next Ask Stuart Hour? Go ahead and please answer the questions. I'd appreciate it. What's your preferred date for the next Ask Stuart Hour? Tuesday the 29th, because I have only one person signed up. It may be too close to the New Year's. Thursday, January 7, or Tuesday, Jan 12. So if you go ahead and vote, then I'm going to look at the next set of questions that are coming down here. So hold on here. Ooh, the polls, the answers are coming in. Jenny, thank you, Jenny. It was very kind. I said I've been in the business 30 years, and she said you must have been 10. Actually, this is my 52nd birthday, 52, and I'm really, really happy that that I'm here to celebrate my 52nd. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we're going to close the poll. Let's see what the answers came in. Share the results. Let's see here. It looks like, oh, is this amazing? Look at the results. January 7th and January 12th are in dead heat. That's crazy. That's nuts. All right, it's going to either be Jan 7 or Jan 12. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. We will make it happen. Are we back on the air? Yeah, hold on here. Hold on. All right, there we go. Okay, and let me go back to the question board here. Lenore said, what's wrong with the old farts? And this is an answer. This was a comment to the question Marsha asked. All right, I want to take this up here. Hang on, everybody. That Marsha had asked, well, how do, young people are not she's having it's challenging selling to the millennials, younger people, because they think only old farts cruise. And Lenore said, what's wrong with the old farts? There's nothing wrong with the old farts. I guess people who act like they're old farts. Who wants to be around people who act like old farts? Nobody. You know, it's just a funny expression, right? But if somebody acts like an old fart, I don't want to hang around with them. I want them to be fun and vibrant, and I don't care how old or young they are. And Jack and Joan, they say here, the old farts have money and plenty of time, and that's true too. So all Marcia was asking, we're not putting down the old farts. We're just saying that this is comments that apparently some millennials are making when you go to try to sell cruises. Are you experiencing this or not? I don't know. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. But I think it was a great question. Okay, Nancy said the bank started a program called Golden Rewards for folks over 50 with at least $25K in the bank. I think that's great. Listen, everybody, check this out. Nancy's got this great program going on here, and maybe your bank has it or doesn't have it. It's a Golden Rewards program for folks over 50. And listen, I'm 52, and I am not an old fart. Not close, not even in the same neighborhood vicinity. Okay, old farts don't run marathons. I just did a half 2 Saturdays ago. I'm running a full. The end of February, I party hardy, and the day I stop, you can call me an old fart. How's that? Okay. Oh, wow, Elaine, you started in 1972 in Bedminster, New Jersey at Tewksbury Travel. Was I your DSM? Because I was a DSM. Is that how we know each other, right? I was a Costa and a Princess DSM. How awesome. Nancy says they want to offer the members 4 trips a year, so you want to offer more. That is awesome. What a wonderful opportunity to step up there and deliver good stuff. Let this be inspirational to all of you, that there's amazing opportunities out there. Mickey has a great idea. Thank you, Mickey, for joining us. And this is, I think, to the old fart issue. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. And she says, Marcia, everybody pay attention. Send them videos of fun types of cruise lines like Royal or Carnival or Norwegian. No one thinks of them as old folks cruise lines. And you know what, Mickey, this is great, and I really think that you've really hit something on the head here, which is it's one thing to enter their conversation for anybody who you're having a tough time selling to, or I should say helping to transform their lives, but especially with millennials, what's the new language, my friends? What's the new language? The new language is video. Are you using video? Friends, if you're not using video, I don't think you're going to be selling to the millennials. They don't read. Yeah, the only thing they read are texts and emojis, but they don't read. And I know there was somebody, who was it? Oh my goodness, somebody at boot camp who I was absolutely thrilled with. I dared you all to make one little video and post it. Whether it's Facebook, it's so simple to do. So when you're on a fam trip and you're on vacation, take your darn phone, go like this, do a quick scan and say, wish you were here. Post it on Facebook, especially if the resort has free Wi-Fi. The cruise ship's going to charge you $700 a minute for Wi-Fi, but that's a separate conversation. But thank you, Mickey. I think it's a great conversation. Don't just enter their conversation, but speak their language. And if their language is video, show them video, talk to them in video. Thank you, Shanda. She says happy birthday and many continued blessings. Thank you very much. That's very, very sweet, Shanda. I appreciate that. Michael, okay, you may want to share with the other boot campers that I'm about to lunch today with a Pied Piper. I have followed your sequence and spent a lot of time getting to know this person before raising the possibility of a group river cruise. I will get more info from him today and report back to the group about how it's going. Michael, you the man. See, so what Michael did was, instead of spilling all the beans in an email or in a letter or on the phone, he said, hey, you got 15 minutes. I want to come talk to you. I want to learn about what you got going on there. And in that process, Michael's going to find out what his problem is. And he's going to use group travel to solve the problem. I'm loving it. Michael, we are fixed and eager and waiting to hear your report. Good luck to you, my friend. Good luck to you. Let's see. Nancy, bank says they're waiting until the end of the year to set the schedule. I think they're waiting on the other tour leader. What do I do? I don't know. I would see if you can set up that meeting. You want to do a review. You want to get a survey out. You want to engage. Don't go in trying to sell, Nancy. What you want to do is make sure they know you're alive, make sure you love what you do, and more importantly, make sure that they know that everyone on that bus, everybody who's been involved in these tours before loves you, that you got it nailed, because this is something we always deal with, right? Somebody new comes along and they slide in, oh, I'm going to do business with my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, my family, whatever, okay? And so that's just it. All right, here's the deal. There are so many new comments coming in, and I can't get them all, but we've got 1 minute left. Thank you, John Sema, for wishing me happy birthday. Welcome to boot camp. Wowee. Marcia, proud at 73. It's wonderful. Let's see. Okay. Wow. I couldn't get to everything. We got 60 seconds left. I will let you all know if it's going to be, don't go anywhere yet, if it's going to be one of those two dates. I am grateful for all the questions that came in. Grateful that you're all here. Thanks for sticking it out when we had those weird technical glitch. I will go back and post this and let you know when the next Ask Stuart Hour is. For those who were our guests today, I'm very grateful you came, and I'm glad you stuck it out. I hope it helped. Whether you join boot camp or not, whether you really, really want to master the group business model in my boot camp or not, I'm grateful you're here. I love you. We're friends. Let me know what you thought of today's hour, the Ask Stuart Hour. Let me know what you thought of it. What'd you like? What didn't you like? Except for the glitch when you saw me running around crazy here. But it is time, and I like to end on time. So I will go through questions. If I didn't get to them, I'll try my best to answer separate. Post your questions and answers on Facebook. Engage in our private group Facebook page, and I can't say the words anymore. I am so grateful you're here. Thank you all for your birthday wishes. It is a great day. Bye, everybody. Wait, one more. Ooh, it went that way.